The Quiet Librarian, written by Alan Eskens, and published in February of 2025 by Mulholland Books, with a snippet read by Richard Coombs. Available for checkout right now at the Alice L. Pendleton Library. The man steps through the door and into the library, no coat despite the late spring rain. He stops to cast his gaze around the room. Maybe it is the way he focuses on people and not books that first catches her attention, or maybe it's the question in his eyes despite his confident demeanor, the look of a seasoned hunter in an unfamiliar wood. Whatever the peak, it is enough to hold Hana's attention. The man pulls a small notepad from the pocket of his tweed jacket, a pencil slid into the wire spirals, old school in this world of cell phones and apps. He opens the notepad, reads something, and looks around the library again, pausing on faces, holding for a few seconds on Deb Hansen, the president of the Friends of the Library, who sits in the reading room. He glances at his notes, gives an almost imperceptible shake of his head, and moves on. She is not the one he's looking for. Hana slips into a row of histories, pulling her cart of books behind her, keeping one eye on the man as she reshelves a tome on the Crusades. The man passes her gaze over a young mother, and then a 20-something girl looking through the DVDs. There are no other patrons in the library, yet he continues to scan. The man is tall, with sleepy eyes that droop at the edges. Dark hair sprinkled with gray puts him in his late 40s, maybe early 50s, Hana's age or thereabout. His chin looks weak, but probably hadn't been so in his youth. He wears a jacket but no tie, and his khaki pants are creased at the hip as if he's been sitting, maybe in a car, before coming to the library. When he sweeps her way, Hana holds still, a rabbit frozen in her tracks. She immediately feels foolish for reacting so. No one comes to the library looking for her. She has been invisible for far too long now, walking through the rows with her cart and her drab clothing. The sweater lady, that's what the children call her when they think she cannot hear them. She tugs at the sleeves of her cardigan, an unconscious tic that she can't seem to shake even after all these years. She likes the history section. It is quiet there, and the aging books smell slightly of old wood, a scent that can sometimes whisk her back to the mountains of her youth and the peace of those days before the war. It had been a desire to find the sense of peace that drew Hana to the library in Farmington, Minnesota. That had been 30 years ago, and she still finds herself looking over her shoulder for those who might hunt her. 30 years, and she can still see the faces of the dead when she closes her eyes at night. She peers over a collection of Civil War histories and watches the man make his way to the circulation desk, where Barb snaps on her best "Can I help you" smile. The man is probably in sales, hustling cleaning supplies or new software for the computers. He leans down and says something to Barb, who looks confused at first, but then stands, scans the library, and points at Hana's cart, which sticks out into the aisle. Hana pulls the cart into the row with her. Maybe Barb was directing the man to a book. Hana picks up a treatise on the fall of the Roman Empire and places it on the shelf. No, this can't be. Barb wouldn't need to look around the library before pointing. She knows the placement of every book in the building. The man walks towards the history section. Hana pulls her cart deeper into the row and picks up a book on the Louisiana Purchase, raising it toward the shelf as the man draws closer. When he enters her row, the book in her hand sinks slowly to her side. This man is not a salesman. A salesman would have no business with her. He offers a weak smile, a gesture that seems forced, practiced. Up close, his eyes seem more sad than sleepy, and his features are stronger than they appeared from a distance. He stops a few feet away and asks, "Are you Hana Babic?" He pronounces her last name wrong, ending it with a hard K the way most Americans do. "Babish," she corrects, quietly, doing her best to hide what remains of her accent. "Hana Babish." "Sorry." He reaches into his breast pocket and pulls out what looks to be a wallet, then opens it to show her a gold badge. "I'm David Claypool, a detective with the St. Paul Police Department. Is there some place where we can talk?" It is then that Hana notices the gun holstered on his hip. How had she not seen that when he first walked in? Memories of men carrying guns, of bodies covered in white sheets stained red with blood, flash through her mind. Hana opens her mouth, but no words form. She wants to know why this man has sought her out, but she doesn't want to hear what he might say. She wants to ask if she's done something wrong, but that is not the right question either. The better question is, does he know?